In a distant corner of the galaxy, aboard an alien reconnaissance vessel known as the Vraxian, alarms blared loudly. The sound was sharp and urgent, piercing through the quiet hum of the ship's systems. Every crew member froze in their positions, their eyes darting toward the central control panel, where glowing screens displayed streams of data. Commander Vrax, a towering insectoid being with a shimmering exoskeleton that reflected the dim blue light of the ship's interior, stood at the helm. His mandibles twitched nervously as he stared at the information flooding in from deep space. The signal had come without warning. It wasn't just any ordinary transmission, it was something far more significant. A faint but unmistakable message pulsed through the void of space, traveling in every direction like ripples in water. The words were simple, yet chilling. Unidentified. Human craft detected. For centuries, humanity had been dismissed by neighboring civilizations as primitive, weak, and irrelevant. Earth was seen as nothing more than a tiny blue rock, orbiting a mediocre star on the outer edges of the Milky Way. But now, everything had changed. Commander Vrax turned to his communications officer, a slender amphibian-like creature named Xylar, who was frantically analyzing the incoming data. "Explain this," Vrax demanded, his voice deep and raspy, echoing slightly within the metallic confines of the bridge. Xylar hesitated for a moment before speaking, his webbed fingers tapping rapidly on the holographic interface. "Sir, the signal originates from Earth's solar system," Xylar began, his voice trembling slightly. "It appears to be automated. A warning. Beacon broadcasting continuously. We've detected multiple unidentified objects in high orbit around Earth. They're massive." "Massive?" Vrax repeated, his compound eyes narrowing. He moved closer to the screen, leaning over Xylar's shoulder to examine the readings himself. What he saw made his antennae quiver with unease. Dozens of enormous structures floated silently above Earth's atmosphere. These weren't clumsy satellites or outdated space stations. They were sleek, menacing machines bristling with weaponry. Their designs were unlike anything the crew of the Vraxian had ever encountered. Each craft was several kilometers long, dwarfing even the largest vessels in their own fleet. "How could they build such things?" one of the junior officers muttered under her breath, breaking the tense silence that had fallen over the bridge. Her question hung in the air unanswered because no one knew what to say. Humanity had always been considered technologically backward compared to other species in the galaxy. Their ships were slow, their weapons primitive, and their understanding of advanced physics laughable. Yet here they were, suddenly fielding an armada of colossal warships capable of rivaling the mightiest fleets in the cosmos. Vrax clenched his clawed hands into fists, trying to suppress the growing sense of dread creeping up his spine. He ordered his science team to run further scans on the mysterious objects. As the minutes ticked by, more details emerged. The crafts were not just sitting idle, they were moving in perfect formation, synchronized with precision that suggested artificial intelligence or some form of highly advanced coordination. Energy signatures indicated they were powered by sources beyond current galactic technology. And then there were the weapons, rows upon rows of turrets and missile launchers, all aimed outward, ready to strike at a moment's notice. "This can't be right," another officer whispered, shaking his head in disbelief. "Humans shouldn't have access to this level of power. This has to be some kind of mistake." But it wasn't a mistake. The evidence was undeniable. Vrax straightened up, his mind racing. If word of this got out, it would send shockwaves throughout the galaxy. Species who once mocked humanity would now view them as a potential threat, or worse, an enemy. Already, rumors about Earth's sudden transformation were spreading across communication networks. Other alien races were picking up the same signal, and panic was beginning to ripple through interstellar communities. "What are our orders, sir?" asked Xylar, snapping Vrax out of his thoughts. The commander took a deep breath, his mandibles clicking softly as he considered their options. They couldn't ignore this discovery. Whatever was happening on Earth, it was too big to overlook. At the same time, confronting humanity directly seemed reckless. No one knew what these new human ships were truly capable of. "Send a report. Back to High Command immediately," Frax instructed, his tone firm despite the uncertainty gnawing at him. Include all available data. Let them decide how to proceed. As the crew scrambled to comply, Frax gazed out the viewport at the vast expanse of stars stretching endlessly before them. Somewhere out there, hidden among those twinkling lights, lay Earth, a planet that had once been dismissed as insignificant. Now it loomed large in Vrax's mind, casting a shadow of fear and awe across the galaxy. Humanity had kept its secrets well hidden for far too long. But now, the truth was out, and there was no turning back. On board the Vraxian, the mood shifted from curiosity to outright terror. The crew exchanged uneasy glances, each member grappling with the implications of what they had discovered. For years, Earth had been a footnote in galactic history, a minor world unworthy of attention. But now, it was impossible to ignore. The phrase echoed in their minds, repeating itself like a haunting mantra. Unidentified human craft detected. What did it mean? Why had humanity chosen this moment to reveal itself? And most importantly, what would happen next? The answers remained shrouded in mystery, but one thing was certain. The galaxy would never look at Earth the same way again. While the galaxy reeled from the shocking revelation of Earth's newfound might, life on the blue planet continued as usual, for most people at least. In bustling cities like New York, Tokyo, and Mumbai, citizens went about their daily routines, oblivious to the seismic shift occurring above their heads. Morning commuters sipped coffee and scrolled through social media feeds filled with celebrity gossip and political scandals. Children played in schoolyards, laughing and shouting without a care in the world. No one noticed the subtle changes in the sky. No strange lights yet, no rumbling engines overhead. Not yet. But behind closed doors, far away from prying eyes, humanity's leaders were hard at work orchestrating what would soon become the greatest turning point in human history. Decades earlier, when humanity first began venturing into space, governments around the world realized something crucial. They weren't alone. Alien probes had been detected skirting the edges of Earth's atmosphere, watching silently from the shadows. At first, these sightings were dismissed as conspiracy theories or misidentified natural phenomena. But as evidence mounted, it became clear that Earth was being observed and judged as weak and vulnerable. Faced with this unsettling truth, global powers took drastic action. In secret bunkers buried deep beneath mountains and deserts, representatives from every major nation gathered to form an unprecedented alliance. This initiative, codenamed Project Ascension, aimed to prepare humanity for the inevitable day when extraterrestrial forces would make contact, or worse, attack. The goal was simple but monumental: to ensure that Earth could defend itself against any threat, no matter how advanced the enemy might be. What started as theoretical research quickly evolved into reality thanks to breakthroughs in quantum physics, artificial intelligence, and energy manipulation. Scientists unlocked the secrets of antimatter reactors, creating engines capable of propelling ships faster than light. Engineers designed hulls made of nanomaterials stronger than steel, yet lighter than air. Weapon systems were developed using cutting-edge plasma technology, capable of obliterating even the toughest alien armors. Every innovation pushed humanity closer to its ultimate goal: a fleet of starships powerful enough to protect Earth from any foe. To keep the project hidden from both the public and potential spies, governments employed elaborate disinformation campaigns. Experimental military aircraft disguised as ordinary jets flew over remote areas, masking test flights for prototype spacecraft. Satellite launches were announced as routine missions while secretly deploying components of the growing fleet into orbit. Even astronauts aboard the International Space Station played a role, feeding false data to curious observers who might suspect something unusual was happening. By the time alien probes entered Earth's atmosphere months earlier, Project Ascension was nearly complete. Hidden beneath layers of secrecy, dozens of massive star destroyers floated silently in low Earth orbit, waiting for the signal to reveal themselves. When the decision came to activate the fleet, it was not made lightly. Leaders debated long into the night, weighing the risks and rewards of exposing humanity's hand so suddenly. Would revealing their strength deter potential enemies or provoke them? Ultimately, the choice was clear. It was time for Earth to step out of the shadows and declare its place among the stars. The unveiling began at dawn, timed perfectly to maximize impact across all continents. Without warning, the skies above major cities parted as if a curtain had been drawn back. Massive star destroyers descended slowly, their sleek metallic surfaces gleaming in the sunlight. Each vessel was several kilometers long, bristling with weapons and glowing faintly with energy fields that shimmered like auroras. People stopped in their tracks, staring upward in awe and terror. Cars screeched to a halt on highways. Pedestrians froze mid-step. Even birds seemed to pause in flight. No explanations were given, none were needed. Everyone knew instinctively that something extraordinary was happening. Inside secure command centers, leaders watched live feeds from cameras mounted on the star destroyers. Screens displayed panoramic views of cities bathed in the shadow of these colossal machines. Crowds gathered in streets and parks, pointing skyward and snapping photos with their phones. Social media exploded with posts as billions of people tried to process what they were witnessing. Some cheered, believing humanity had finally taken its rightful place among the stars. Others panicked, fearing invasion or apocalypse. Regardless of individual reactions, one thing was undeniable: Earth had awakened. For those involved in Project Ascension, the moment was bittersweet. On one hand, pride swelled in their chests as they saw decades of hard work come to fruition. They had transformed humanity from prey into predator, ensuring Earth's survival in a dangerous universe. On the other hand, uncertainty lingered. What would the rest of the galaxy think? How would alien civilizations respond to Earth's sudden rise? These questions weighed heavily on their minds, but there was no turning back now. As the star destroyers hovered ominously above Earth's surface, broadcasting their presence to anyone listening, humanity held its breath. The message was clear: Earth was no longer defenseless. Its people were ready to stand alongside or against anyone who dared challenge them. For the first time in history, humanity wasn't just surviving, it was thriving. Across the globe, news outlets struggled to cover the event. Reporters scrambled to piece together coherent narratives, relying on fragmented information leaked by anonymous sources within government agencies. Speculation ran rampant. Some claimed the ships were part of a top-secret military program designed to counteract climate change. Others suggested they were remnants of ancient civilizations rediscovered by modern archaeologists. Only a handful guessed the truth: that humanity had built these machines themselves, preparing for a future where Earth would need to fight for its survival. Meanwhile, in space, alien reconnaissance vessels scrambled to gather more data. Probes darted between the star destroyers, attempting to scan their systems and assess their capabilities. Earth's defenses responded instantly, deploying swarms of smaller drones to intercept the intruders. Within moments, several probes were disabled, their wreckage drifting aimlessly in orbit. The message was unmistakable: stay away, or face the consequences. Back on Earth, scientists and engineers celebrated quietly in underground facilities. Their work wasn't done yet. Now that the fleet had been revealed, maintenance crews worked tirelessly to ensure the ships remained operational. Pilots trained rigorously in simulators, preparing for the possibility of combat. Diplomats drafted contingency plans, anticipating interactions with alien races. Every aspect of humanity's new existence was carefully considered, leaving nothing to chance. Yet amidst the chaos and excitement, a profound realization began to sink in. Humanity had crossed a threshold it could never uncross. From this point, Forward Earth was part of a much larger story, one written across the stars. The question was no longer whether humanity belonged in the cosmos, but how it would shape its destiny among the countless civilizations already out there. And so, as the sun set on that historic day, the skies above Earth remained open, not as a sign of aggression, but as a declaration of intent. Humanity had proven itself capable of greatness. Whether that greatness would bring peace or conflict remained to be seen. But one thing was certain: the galaxy would never look at Earth, or its people, the same way again. The revelation of Earth's star destroyers sent shockwaves rippling through the galaxy. Within hours, news of humanity's sudden transformation spread like wildfire across communication networks, reaching every corner of known space. Alien civilizations that had once dismissed Earth as a primitive backwater now found themselves gripped by fear and disbelief. For centuries, humanity had been nothing more than a footnote in galactic history, a species too weak and divided to warrant serious attention. But now, the rules had changed. Humanity wasn't just surviving, it was thriving and arming itself with technology far beyond what anyone thought possible. On distant planets orbiting suns light years away, leaders convened in emergency sessions to discuss the implications of Earth's rise. Galactic councils buzzed with heated debates. Some argued for immediate diplomacy, hoping to avoid conflict before it spiraled out of control. Others pushed for preemptive strikes, believing it better to crush this fledgling power before it grew stronger. The tension was palpable, and panic began to take hold among even the most powerful empires. One particularly aggressive faction, known as the Zorathians, decided to act first. The Zorathians were infamous throughout the galaxy for their brutal military campaigns and ruthless expansionist policies. Their empire stretched across dozens of star systems, and they prided themselves on crushing any species that dared oppose them. To them, humanity's newfound strength was an insult, a challenge to their dominance that could not go unanswered. Dispatching a squadron of battle cruisers to Earth's outer rim, the Zorathians issued a chilling ultimatum. Through a subspace transmission broadcast directly to Earth's command centers, their leader, a hulking reptilian warlord named Krasnok, demanded unconditional surrender. "You are but children playing with tools you do not understand," Krasnok hissed, his voice dripping with contempt. "Lay down your weapons or face annihilation." Humanity's response came swiftly and decisively. Without hesitation, Earth's star destroyers launched swarms of drones equipped with advanced energy weapons. These drones moved with precision, weaving between the Zorathian ships like schools of fish-evading predators. Within minutes, the alien fleet was overwhelmed. Plasma beams sliced through hulls, disabling engines and weapon systems. Missiles exploded in bursts of blinding light, reducing massive cruisers to drifting debris. The entire engagement lasted less than 10 minutes. When the dust settled, all that remained of the Zorathian squadron was a field of wreckage floating silently in the void. Back on Earth, commanders watched the live feed from their command centers, their faces grim but resolute. They knew this victory would have consequences, but they also knew it was necessary. By demonstrating their capabilities so decisively, humanity had sent a clear message: Earth would not be intimidated. News of the battle spread rapidly, fueling both awe and terror among alien civilizations. Species who had once mocked humanity now trembled at the thought of facing its wrath. Trade routes near Earth's solar system saw a sharp decline in activity as merchants rerouted their journeys to avoid potential danger. Entire planets began fortifying their defenses, fearing that Earth might turn its sights outward next. Even the most peaceful races started stockpiling resources, preparing for the worst-case scenario. Yet amid the chaos, some factions saw opportunity. Rogue traders and smugglers flocked to Earth's borders, eager to strike deals with the upstart species. They offered rare materials, advanced technologies, and valuable intelligence in exchange for protection, or simply access to Earth's markets. Diplomatic envoys from neutral nations arrived bearing gifts and proposals for alliances. Humanity's sudden prominence made it a magnet for those seeking profit, power, or safety. For Earth's leaders, managing these interactions became a delicate balancing act. While they welcomed trade and cooperation, they remained wary of ulterior motives. Intelligence agencies worked around the clock to vet potential partners, ensuring no hostile forces infiltrated their ranks. At the same time, scientists analyzed data recovered from the destroyed Zorathian ships, learning everything they could about their enemies' technology and tactics. Every piece of information brought humanity one step closer to securing its place in the cosmos. Despite their growing influence, Humanity's leaders understood that brute force alone wouldn't guarantee long-term stability. True respect required more than just military might. It demanded wisdom, restraint, and a willingness to collaborate. With this in mind, Earth's diplomats reached out to neighboring civilizations, offering olive branches alongside warnings. They emphasized humanity's desire for peace while making it abundantly clear that aggression would not be tolerated. These efforts yielded mixed results. Some species embraced the idea of cooperation, seeing humanity's rise as an opportunity to forge new partnerships. Others remained skeptical, viewing Earth's actions as reckless and unpredictable. Sabotage attempts became frequent, forcing Earth's defenders to remain vigilant. Ships patrolling the outer rim reported suspicious activity regularly, and security protocols were tightened across the board. Still, humanity persisted. Leaders recognized that earning trust would take time and patience. Each encounter with another species brought fresh insights. Each challenge forged stronger bonds. Slowly but surely, humanity began carving out a niche for itself in the galaxy. Its star destroyers became symbols of both strength and hope, inspiring awe and admiration wherever they went. Back on Earth, the impact of these events was profound. Unity replaced division as nations set aside old grudges and worked together toward a common goal. Resources once wasted on petty conflicts were redirected toward improving lives. Education flourished, technology advanced, and dreams of exploring deeper into the cosmos took flight. Citizens looked up at the night sky with pride, knowing that their planet was no longer just a speck in the vastness of space. It was a beacon, a testament to what could be achieved when humanity stood united. Even so, challenges remained. Not everyone welcomed Earth's rise. Rogue factions within certain empires continued plotting against humanity, determined to undermine its progress. Spies infiltrated human settlements, gathering intelligence and sabotaging key projects. Assassination attempts targeted high-ranking officials, though none succeeded. Humanity's defenders countered these threats with equal determination, rooting out conspiracies and dismantling enemy networks before they could cause harm. Through it all, humanity's resolve never wavered. Its people knew they had come too far to turn back now. The road ahead would be difficult, filled with obstacles and sacrifices, but they also knew that the stakes were higher than ever. Failure meant extinction, success meant survival, and perhaps something greater. As days turned into weeks, then months, the galaxy adjusted to the new reality. Fear gave way to cautious optimism, as more species came to see humanity not just as a threat, but as a potential ally. Trade agreements were signed, cultural exchanges initiated, and joint scientific endeavors launched. Humanity's star destroyers patrolled key sectors, ensuring safe passage for peaceful travelers while deterring hostile forces. Stories of their heroism inspired hope throughout the stars. And yet, even amidst triumph, humility remained. Humanity knew it still had much to learn from the vastness of space. Each encounter with another species brought fresh insights. Each challenge forged stronger bonds. Together, alongside countless others, they shaped a brighter future for all. In the end, the panic that had gripped the galaxy began to subside, not because humanity had grown weaker, but because it had proven itself worthy of respect. Earth's star destroyers continued to hover above the planet, their presence a reminder of what humanity had achieved and what it was capable of achieving in the future. The galaxy had been shaken, but it was also beginning to heal. And, at the center of it all stood Earth, ready to write the next chapter of its story among the stars. The galaxy was still reeling from the shock of humanity's rise, but Earth's leaders knew that raw power alone wouldn't secure their place among the stars. True stability required more than just weapons. It demanded trust, respect, and alliances. Humanity had proven it could fight, but now it needed to show it could cooperate. With this in mind, Earth's diplomats embarked on a bold new initiative, reaching out to alien civilizations not as conquerors, but as equals. To facilitate these efforts, humanity established embassies aboard neutral orbital platforms orbiting key star systems. These stations were designed to serve as meeting grounds where representatives from various species could gather safely to discuss trade, science, and mutual coexistence. Constructed using advanced materials developed during Project Ascension, the platforms gleamed like jewels against the blackness of space, symbolizing humanity's ingenuity and willingness to engage with others. At first, tensions ran high. Many alien delegates arrived at the embassies with skepticism etched into their expressions, or whatever passed for expressions among beings whose faces bore little resemblance to human ones. Some came armed with bodyguards or surrounded by layers of protective energy shields, clearly expecting treachery. Others refused to step foot inside until extensive security scans confirmed there were no hidden traps. It was clear that humanity's reputation as both a formidable warrior race and an unpredictable newcomer preceded them. One of the earliest arrivals was Ambassador Trelvok, a towering amphibious creature from the aquatic world of Aquarian 7. His shimmering green skin glistened under the artificial lights of the embassy, and his webbed hands moved gracefully as he spoke through a translator device strapped to his chest. "We have watched your ascent with great interest," Trelvok said, addressing Earth's lead diplomat, Dr. Elena Vasquez. "But we must ask, what is your intent? Will you seek conquest? Or will you join us in building a better future, Dr. N?" Vasquez, a calm and composed woman in her late 40s, stood tall before the assembled delegates. Her dark hair was pulled back into a tight bun, and her sharp eyes betrayed none of the nerves she might have felt beneath her professional demeanor. She smiled warmly, her voice steady as she replied, "Humanity seeks neither conquest nor isolation. We wish only to take our place among the stars, not as rulers but as partners. Together we can achieve far more than any one species could alone." Her words resonated with some, though not all. A delegation from the insectoid Vraxians, Commander Vrax's people, remained visibly uneasy. Their leader, a wiry figure named Silith, shifted uncomfortably in his seat, his mandibles clicking softly as he processed her statement. "Your kind has shown remarkable progress," Silith admitted grudgingly. "But such rapid advancement raises questions. How did you develop these technologies so quickly? Are you truly acting independently, or are you being guided by forces unknown?" It was a question many aliens had been asking privately, and Dr. Vasquez anticipated it. Leaning slightly forward, she placed a hand over her heart, a gesture of sincerity understood even across species. "Our achievements are the result of centuries of curiosity, perseverance, and collaboration," she explained. "Yes, we received inspiration from studying fragments of alien technology left behind by probes and crashed ships. But everything you see, the star destroyers, the energy weapons, the quantum reactors, is uniquely ours. Humanity may be young, but we learn quickly." Her honesty seemed to ease some concerns. Over time, as discussions continued, delegates began to lower their guards. They shared stories of their own struggles and triumphs, revealing glimpses of their cultures and histories. Slowly, bonds began to form. Scientists exchanged knowledge, traders negotiated deals, and artists collaborated on projects that blended human creativity with alien aesthetics. Humanity proved itself not only as a skilled warrior, but also as an innovative thinker, eager to contribute to the galactic community. Trade agreements became one of the most significant outcomes of these diplomatic efforts. Alien merchants brought rare minerals, exotic foods, and cutting-edge technologies to Earth's markets, while humans offered medical advancements, renewable energy solutions, and cultural artifacts in return. Entire industries sprang up around interstellar commerce, creating jobs and opportunities for both humans and aliens alike. Ports near Earth's orbit buzzed with activity as cargo ships ferried goods between planets, fostering economic growth and strengthening ties between species. Cultural exchanges added another layer of connection. Art exhibits featuring alien sculptures and paintings toured Earth's cities, drawing massive crowds. Music festivals celebrated interstellar harmony, with performances blending human melodies with alien harmonics. Schools introduced courses on alien languages and customs, helping children grow up with a broader perspective of the universe. Even social media platforms adapted to include content from extraterrestrial creators, sparking friendships across light years. Yet despite these successes, challenges persisted. Not everyone welcomed humanity's rise with open arms. Rogue factions within certain empires saw Earth's newfound strength as a direct threat to their dominance. Sabotage attempts became frequent, targeting both diplomatic missions and trade routes. Once a bomb disguised as a gift nearly destroyed an embassy platform, killing dozens before security teams intervened. Another time, a convoy carrying vital resources was ambushed by pirates believed to be working for hostile governments. These incidents forced humanity to remain vigilant. Earth's star destroyers patrolled key sectors relentlessly, ensuring safe passage for peaceful travelers while deterring hostile forces. Intelligence agencies worked tirelessly to root out conspiracies and prevent further attacks. Security protocols on embassy platforms were tightened, with biometric scanners and energy barriers becoming standard features. Yet even amid these precautions, humanity's leaders refused to let fear dictate their actions. They understood that isolation would only breed mistrust, and they were determined to keep moving forward. Perhaps the most profound impact of these diplomatic efforts was felt back on Earth itself. As humanity connected with other species, its citizens began to see themselves differently. National borders, once rigid and divisive, started to blur as people realized they were part of something much larger, a global family united under a single banner. Resources once squandered on petty conflicts were redirected toward improving lives. Education flourished, with schools emphasizing science, technology, and empathy. Dreams of exploring deeper into the cosmos took flight, inspiring a new generation of explorers, inventors, and peacemakers. Even skeptics couldn't deny the transformation taking place. Critics who had initially dismissed humanity's rise as reckless ambition now praised the leadership's ability to balance strength with diplomacy. Public opinion polls showed overwhelming support for continued engagement with alien civilizations, with many citizens expressing pride in their planet's accomplishments. For the first time in history, humanity wasn't just surviving, it was thriving. As months turned into years, Earth's position in the galaxy solidified. Its star destroyers became symbols of protection rather than aggression, earning respect wherever they traveled. Stories of humanity's heroism spread far and wide, inspiring hope among species who had long suffered under oppressive regimes. When a distant colony faced invasion by marauders, Earth's fleet arrived swiftly, driving off the attackers and earning eternal gratitude from the grateful populace. When a plague threatened to wipe out an endangered race, human doctors worked, alongside alien scientists to develop a cure, saving millions of lives. Through it all, humanity remained humble. Leaders recognized that they still had much to learn from the vastness of space. Each encounter with another species brought fresh insights. Each challenge forged stronger bonds. Together, alongside countless others, they shaped a brighter future for all. In the end, the diplomatic dance proved successful, not because humanity had perfected the art of negotiation, but because it had approached every interaction with sincerity and respect. Earth's sky stayed open, not as a display of aggression but as a symbol of promise. Humanity had earned its place among the stars, not by conquering, but by connecting. And as the galaxy looked on, it began to see Earth not as a threat, but as a beacon of hope. A testament to what could be achieved when differences were set aside in pursuit of a common goal. Years passed, and humanity's reputation continued to grow. From being dismissed as irrelevant, Earthlings earned the title of Guardians of the Galaxy. Their star destroyers patrolled key sectors, ensuring safe passage for peaceful travelers, while deterring hostile forces. Stories of their heroism inspired hope throughout the stars, yet perhaps the most profound change occurred closer to home. On Earth, unity replaced division. Nations set aside old grudges, realizing that survival depended on working together. Resources once wasted on petty conflicts were redirected toward improving lives. Education flourished, technology advanced, and dreams of exploring deeper into the cosmos took flight. The transformation wasn't instantaneous, nor was it without challenges. At first, skepticism lingered among both humans and aliens. Some feared that humanity's newfound power would corrupt them, leading to arrogance or oppression. Others worried that Earth's leaders might overextend themselves, biting off more than they could chew in their quest for galactic influence. But as time went on, these fears began to fade. Humanity proved itself not just through its actions but also through its values rooted in cooperation, humility, and resilience. One of the defining moments came when a distant planet named Zentrix 9 faced an existential crisis. Orbiting a dying star, Zentrix 9's atmosphere was slowly being stripped away by solar winds. Its inhabitants, a peaceful race of crystalline beings known as the Lumivians, had tried everything to save their world, but their efforts had failed. Desperate, they sent out a plea for help across the galaxy. Many species heard the call but turned away, unwilling to risk resources or manpower. Humanity, however, responded immediately. Earth's star destroyers arrived within days, carrying teams of engineers, scientists, and terraforming experts. Using advanced technology developed during Project Ascension, they erected massive energy shields around Zentrix 9, stabilizing its atmosphere and buying the Lumivians precious time. Meanwhile, researchers worked tirelessly to find a long-term solution. After months of collaboration, they succeeded in redirecting the trajectory of a nearby asteroid, using its gravitational pull to nudge Zentrix 9 further from its collapsing sun. The operation was risky, requiring precision down to the millimeter, but it worked. Zentrix 9 was saved. When news of the rescue spread, the Lumivians declared humanity their eternal allies. Other species marveled at the feat, recognizing that such selfless acts were rare in a galaxy often driven by greed and ambition. For the Lumivians, Earth became a symbol of hope, a reminder that even in the darkest times, there were those willing to lend a hand. In gratitude, they gifted humanity a fragment of their crystalline core, imbued with properties that accelerated quantum computing speeds exponentially. This gift revolutionized human technology, opening doors to innovations previously thought impossible. As humanity's role in the galaxy expanded, so did its responsibilities. Earth's fleet grew larger, incorporating new designs based on lessons learned from encounters with alien civilizations. Star destroyers evolved into multi-purpose vessels capable of exploration, diplomacy, and defense. Crews included members from various species, reflecting humanity's commitment to inclusivity and collaboration. These ships became mobile embassies, traveling to remote corners of the galaxy to forge alliances, mediate disputes, and provide aid where needed. But guardianship wasn't limited to military might. Humanity invested heavily in humanitarian efforts, establishing relief programs for planets ravaged by war or natural disasters. Medical teams equipped with cutting-edge technology traveled light years to treat outbreaks of deadly diseases. Engineers rebuilt infrastructure destroyed by conflict, helping communities rise from the ashes stronger than before. Teachers shared knowledge freely, empowering younger generations to dream bigger and aim higher. Back on Earth, these efforts fostered a sense of purpose that transcended borders. People who had once fought against one another now worked side by side, united by a shared vision of progress. Cities transformed into hubs of innovation, blending traditional architecture with futuristic designs. Parks dedicated to interstellar harmony sprouted up everywhere, featuring monuments celebrating humanity's achievements alongside tributes to alien cultures. Even language evolved, incorporating words and phrases borrowed from other species, creating a rich tapestry of communication. Yet challenges remained. Rogue factions still sought to undermine humanity's influence, viewing it as a threat to their own agendas. Assassination attempts targeted diplomats, sabotage disrupted supply lines, and misinformation campaigns aimed to sow discord among Earth's allies. Humanity's defenders countered these threats with determination, using intelligence networks and advanced surveillance systems to stay one step ahead. Despite the dangers, leaders refused to retreat into isolation. They understood that engagement was the only path forward. One particularly bold attempt involved a cyber attack on Earth's orbital platforms. Hackers infiltrated the systems controlling the embassies, attempting to disable life support and trigger catastrophic failures. Quick thinking by human engineers and assistance from alien partners prevented disaster. In response, security measures were upgraded, incorporating AI-driven defenses capable of detecting and neutralizing threats in real time. It was a stark reminder that peace required constant vigilance. Perhaps the most significant evolution occurred in humanity's mindset. No longer content to merely survive, people began striving for greatness. Artists created masterpieces that blended human creativity with alien aesthetics, producing works that resonated across species. Philosophers debated the nature of existence, drawing insights from diverse perspectives. Scientists pushed the boundaries of what was possible, unraveling mysteries of the universe that had baffled generations. Education became the cornerstone of this cultural renaissance. Schools taught not just facts and figures, but empathy and adaptability. Children grew up learning about the histories and struggles of other species, fostering a generation that saw itself as part of something much larger than Earth. Space exploration became a unifying goal, inspiring millions to pursue careers in science, engineering, and diplomacy. Colonies established on Mars and moons of Jupiter served as stepping stones to deeper ventures into the cosmos. Even entertainment reflected this shift. Movies, books, and games celebrated humanity's journey from obscurity to prominence, blending action-packed adventures with heartfelt stories of connection and growth. Alien characters became heroes in their own right, challenging stereotypes and promoting understanding. Music fused human melodies with alien harmonics, creating symphonies that echoed across galaxies. As decades turned into centuries, humanity's legacy solidified. Earth's star destroyers no longer inspired fear but admiration. They were symbols of protection, exploration, and unity. Stories of their exploits were told and retold, becoming legends passed down through generations. Species that had once viewed humanity with suspicion now called them friends or family. Trade routes thrived, scientific breakthroughs multiplied, and art flourished. Yet even amidst triumph, humility remained. Humanity knew it still had much to learn from the vastness of space. Each encounter with another species brought fresh insights. Each challenge forged stronger bonds. Together, alongside countless others, they shaped a brighter future for all. In the end, Earth's sky stayed open, not as a display of aggression, but as a symbol of promise. Humanity had proven itself worthy of standing among the stars. Through courage, compassion, and collaboration, they had transformed not just their own destiny, but the destiny of the galaxy itself. And as the universe watched in wonder, Earth stood tall, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, hand in hand with its fellow cosmic citizens.